Hello Internet, Demajen here, and welcome to another Metroidvania map announcement video. This one is a bit odd, because this is a map for a game that as of right now, which is the 18th of February 2026 as I'm recording this, it's a game that is only available on the PlayStation 5, which, as you can imagine if you've seen any of my map stuff in the past, you'll realise it's actually quite a tricky proposition to make a map for, because generally speaking my workflow is dig into the files of any game, pull out icons, pull out whole map images if appropriate, and then put them together, and sometimes that takes a very long time. Cough cough, 96 hours, Silk Song. But with the game being on the PlayStation 5, I couldn't do any of that. So this was a game that took me just under 30 hours to complete 100%. And it took me 30 hours because of some decisions that the game makes as regards backtracking and map pins and fast travel. And it took me 33 plus, at this point, hours to get into this initial launch state. If you are watching this video in the future and you go to the link in the description below, you may very well see that this map looks quite different. At the moment, this is the version 0.1 on your screens, and it is complete in the sense that it's got all of the information that you need for 100% on there to get your platinum trophy, platinum trophy, or at some point in the future, hopefully Steam achievements and stuff, because I very much hope that the game comes to PC. But it's also a little bit rough, and I just wanted to get the information out there, because up until earlier today, I couldn't find a single other map resource for this online. And the ones that I have seen online today are nowhere near finished. They are very much kind of interactive maps in progress, which aren't particularly helpful if you are looking for the last 5% in Zone X or the last chest in Zone Y or what have you. This has got everything for each zone on it, unless I've accidentally deleted something. I don't think I have, but that's part and parcel of my work for the coming few hours. I'm going to go through and double check everything. So, what do we have? Well, first of all, if you've played God of War Sons of Sparta, you'll notice that actually this is not the in-game map. This is one that I've created. I went through with the map in-game, and I went through and I created my own version of it that is nice and clean and crisp, so that you don't have to deal with a kind of blurry screenshot of stuff in the background. It uses the same tiles essentially as all of the other maps that I've done that are what I call the blasphemous style maps, except that I've gone over the lines in white for this one to make it look a little bit closer to the original map in game. And yeah, I've put everything on that I could find. I have labelled it all. Some of the things have got icons, some of them have not. Some of them have got custom things, some of them have not. Right now, it is a little bit all over the place. The information is here, but the aesthetic of it is not up to my usual standards. If all you are looking for is, I am looking at the Passage of Monuments, I've got 3 things left to find, where are they? You will be able to see where they are. For example, the Daedalus sketches down here, which were the last things that I found in the entire game. That will show you how to get them, where they are, and so on and so forth. One of the things that God of War Sons of Sparta does that I quite like is that for each zone of the game, there is a checklist of all of the stuff in game. But I found myself, over the course of my 30-hour playthrough, getting really confused as to what counts for what. So you'll see that I've actually labelled each thing that you can find with what it is, unless it's really obvious. So the Bloom of Balanos, for example, It counts as a lore item for the lore checklist. The Father Invention wing sketches count as an artifact, and so on and so forth. And I've done that all the way through. Anything that is part of a collection or quest has been labelled as such. Any crafting materials that you can find are labelled with little icons and how many of them that you get. All of these scrap chests that you can find, which it took me 15 odd hours to realise how to break them, because I saw the tutorial right at the start of the game, and I used the tutorial right at the start of the game, and then I just completely forgot about it. So a good chunk of my playthrough, I had very little in the way of crafting resources, which meant I was probably weaker than I should have been, and so on and so forth, and that made things a little bit of a drag, shall we say. One thing that the map does annotate for you is all of the sacred olive trees. I've colour-coded them. So you've got Demeter, you've got Hestia. I've also colour-coded the temples. You've got Apollo's temple, you've got the sacred monuments. They're all colour-coded for the different gods as well. Just so that hopefully, and this is reasonably tricky, but at a rough glance, you can tell, oh yeah, that's Demeter's, that's Hestia's, that's Dionysus, that's Apollo, and so on and so forth. Quest rewards that you get, things that you can buy, they are all on here. Abilities that you can get for the Lycurgus head are on here. Any bosses that you can find are marked with the usual skull icons. Ones with green borders are specifically for quests. The ones with red borders are for main quest. We've got multiple different types of chests marked on here. These are your armory depots. I do not know. I need to go and look up the word depot, actually. For me, a depot is a place that you go to pick things up. But apparently, in this game, a depot is a chest. So an armory depot are chests specifically with weapon bits, shield bits, or belt accessories. You've got your blood orbs chests, which are marked in red. You've got iron chests, or iron crates, I think they're called in game. They've got a very specific icon, and every single one of those simply contains an iron bar. You've got your basic breakable chests. You've got your basic supply crates. Supply crates actually there are multiple different kinds. There are ones that you need to open with the Scopus power, which is your eye power. There's ones that you need to open with the breath power. There's a couple that you need to open with the Otos power, which is the one that lets you raise things out of the ground. There's a couple, which I'm going to change the icon for, which are kind of the ones that require the light power, which you need to use the head for again to open those up. But they all do the same thing, and they all contain like roughly the same kinds of materials. All of the pearls that you can use to break with the lunar blade are on here. Quest targets, any kind of... They're not always doors in this, actually. They're just barriers, things that are in the way. Key items are on here. There's a lot. There's a lot. And I'm hoping that this will really help in terms of... I just can't find that last thing. I'm at 93% of an area and I just can't find that last chest, or I can't find that last... the very last thing that I found in the game was, if I can find where it is, where is it? I'm going mad. Oh, yes, this here. The collection of knowledge, the Titan Shard number 12, which is it's right outside the room where you get the quest for it, but it's behind a hidden wall and I didn't have the power to see it when I first found that. So everything is on here that you might like. All of the quests, all of the doors, all of the bits and pieces that you can find. There are not as many notes on here as I would normally do on some of my maps, simply because it's already quite a text-heavy map. I didn't want to put icons for every single thing that you find in chests. I actually started off doing that. It got incredibly overwhelming to look at very, very quickly. I am going to do some work on font sizes. I am going to do some work on making icons more readable when you are zoomed out. This is 50% size. This is what 100% size is. I don't expect anybody to use it at this size realistically, but it's made at this size so that when you do zoom out, it's crisp and not blurry, and so on and so forth. There is a secret finder that you can get. It shows you it's behind a door over here that you need to pay 7,500 blood orbs to get. If you're using the map, obviously you don't need that, but otherwise get that as soon as you can. There's one thing in the entire game that I found that isn't correctly hooked up to it, and it is this bowl here. So I was looking for that bowl for the entire, and you'll see this in my playthrough if you watch my playthrough. I was looking for that bowl in every single room in the map, and because the secret finder puts a little pulsing circle around the item, for whatever reason it doesn't trigger on this Skiphos, so I actually walked right next to it on 2 or 3 occasions because it didn't have the secret thing. I just thought it was background scenery. As soon as you actually walk over it, you get the normal kind of interact prompt to pop it up. Hopefully that will get fixed as well. But there we go. The God of War Sons of Sparta map. It is feature complete, but it's not my prettiest map as of right now. When it hits 1.0, it will probably be, a released version, but as it is, if you want to support the work that I'm going to be doing over on the next few days, or you are happy to use something that's got the information on, just isn't the prettiest, there we go. It's available in the usual places, links in the description below. Hopefully, this is useful for you. Do please let me know. It's very, very strange. I hear a lot of people, and this is going to sound possibly quite egotistical, I do get people thanking me for my maps in general. But I don't necessarily hear people saying, oh yeah, I used this map and it was really helpful for getting me the 100% by finding this thing that I was missing. The more I know about the habits of people and how my maps help them, the better I can actually make the maps, I think. The more I know about what kind of information and details people want and or need, the more I can make sure that information is on there. One of the things that I'm a little bit worried about with this map is that actually my normal notes that I'd have, use this here or do this here or this is how you do this puzzle. There's not as much of this. So there are, a small number of notes for this. But realistically, it was already getting quite text heavy. So there are some places where it's like, yes, you need to use this ability. But there are certain large rooms where it's like, it looks big and empty, but there is actually stuff that you need to do there. Let me know if it's more useful to have more notes on, or actually whether you're just looking for labelled icons or what. Because I can't grow if I don't know what people are using and what people aren't using. I can't make decisions about what kind of things people are going to want to see and how they're going to want to see it if people don't talk to me about it. I'm not going to get offended if you say, oh, can you put this on, or could you have done this differently like this? Simply telling me that something is bad doesn't help. Saying it was bad for me because it didn't show me this, or it didn't give me this information that I needed, that's really useful feedback and critique. This was going to be a short video. Thank you very much for watching, folks. That is the Sons of Sparta Kratosvania, as I will be calling it from now on, because somebody in one of the Discords called it that, and I thought that was spot on. Thank you for the support, as always. Catch you all in the next video. Cheerio! Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio!